Hare Krishna, we can start. I know many have gone out of town. So we'll just go through this discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret. Nasprayasya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कंचना गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विषभानुसुतदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियवंश कल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय, इसको फाउंडर आचार्य हरि डिवाइन के बात की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय, संबल भक्तविंद की जय। Hare Krishna. So this chapter 5, cause of all causes. This basically gives us the information about creation, and the beginning of this chapter, Narad Muni is asking question from Lord Brahma himself, and he's saying that I thought that you are the real creator, but I see that you are always meditating upon somebody. Then Lord Brahma is being very honest, very sincerely. He is answering all the questions. He says, no, 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 no. That's not the right understanding. I'm not the real creator. What I do is that I take the elements that's created by Lord, and in this case Karnodaksha Vishnu, and then adjust those and give the form to all living entity. So real creator is Supreme Lord, and in this case Supreme Lord is Karnodaksha Vishnu. But the bewildered people who are under bewilderment, they think that I am the creator, and that's basically uh, that ignorance is nothing but Maya. So then he starts uh, asking, Narad Muni starts asking questions. Okay, can you please tell me yad rupam, yad adhisthanam, yad srishtam, yad samastam, yad prametcha. What is this is made of, and where it takes shelter? And then its system, how it is coming into the existence, how it is conserved. It's very important to know, right? How material creation is being conserved for such a long time. And then who is managing it? That's the meaning of where it depends on. Means who manage day-to-day functionality of it. And then in detail, can you please tell us what it is composed of? So chapter 5 and chapter 6 very much answer these 6 questions. That's what we are going to see. All these 6 questions are answered in these 2 chapters. So there will be some discussion about Virat Roop, and both chapter talks about Virat Roop, but the purpose of explanation of Virat Rupa is different. So we already have seen one, Virat Roop description in previous chapter, and then there will be another Virat Roop description in this chapter, and then there will be third one in next chapter. So many description about Virat Rupa, which is Kalpite, which is imaginary form. It's not the real form of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's imaginary form, and in various contexts, those Virat Rupa form is mentioned. So in previous chapter, chapter 2, the Lord in the heart, Virat Rupa is presented as Dharna Asraya. So for those yogi who are advanced, their object of meditation is Virat Rupa. So in that context, the Virat Rupa form is mentioned. And in this chapter also, we are going to see description of Virat Rupa. And this Virat Rupa description is basically to compare that lower and upper planetary system are nothing but the form of Supreme Personality of uh, Godhead. So these Virat Rups that we saw before versus what we are going to see now is slightly different. This Virat Rup that we'll see in this chapter is very similar to what we have studied in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita gives more detailed description of Virat Rup, but here also we'll see similar description. So that indeed is the content of chapter 5 and 6.
Prabhu, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
So you said that the advanced yogis meditate on this Virat Rup. So is their destination going to be the Virat Rup, the Brahman?
So if they meditate on Virat Rup, Prabhuji, then that's called Kramya Mukti. They gradually advance. So maybe one life they will meditate on the Maharloka form of supreme, creation. Then maybe that life, or maybe in one life they can go from Maharloka to Sisumara to higher planet like that. So Virat Rupa is basically Kramya Mukti. It's slow, gradual progress. But ultimately, either one goes through Kar Mukti or it goes through Shadhya Mukti, which is meditating on Paramatma. Ultimate goal is Brahman realization in both cases. But one is much slower process and another one is relatively faster process.
Okay, Prabhu.
Does it answer the question?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So the recommendation which is given by Bhagavatam says that if one is on the path of mystic yoga, it's better to meditate on Paramatma, because through Paramatma they can very easily go to Dhyan Samadhi and finally merge into Brahman. But if one is going to Kram Mukti, then ultimately that will lead one to Brahman realization, but the process is very slow. So that's the real difference. Slower process versus fast process. And I think that is applicable in bhakti also. Bhakti also, if someone is performing bhakti very seriously, then they will go back to home, back to Krishna in one lifetime. And if not, then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Suchinam Sarimate Gehe. They'll take birth in next life and they start where they have left. So that I think is true with bhakti also. It's not like that, when we are engaged in bhakti, then in only one life span we'll be done with it. That's not the, I think, teaching. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
So yad rupam, yad adhishtanam, and yad srishtam. So the answer, in reality, if you look at all of this, if we ask you, Prabhu, can you tell what is the answer? You will say Narayan. That's true. Yad rupam Vasudeva, yad adhishtanam Vasudeva Progati. That's the shelter. So Narayan is the shelter. And Yat Param, what it depends on, Lord Narayan. So we'll discuss in details Yatah Srishtam, how is it created. Okay. So answer of question 1, 2, and 5. 1 is Vasudevam. I should have, I should have made it. Maybe I can do right now. I can just, so that will help. So this is Vasudeva, Yadadisthanam, Lord Karno, Dakshai, which is Narayan, as most of us know. How is it created? That we have to understand. What it depends on. It depends on both Karno and Garbho Vishnu. Because Karno Dakshai Vishnu inhale and exhales, and that's how this creation comes into the existence. And after that, Garbho Dakshai Vishnu holds that particular universe. So instead of these three questions are very much, you can say, Narayan, Vishnu. Now, question 6, what is it composed of? That is coming in 6th chapter. Yat Samastam, how is it conserved? That's also coming in 6th chapter. Purushukta conform. That's the title of the chapter. But in fact, it's saying, how it is conserved and what it is composed of. So this question 4 and 6 slightly answer in this chapter 5, but detailed answer of that is in next chapter. So how is it created? That's what we'll try to focus on today. And I'm sure that all of you know how the material world is created, right, Rohit? Should I assume that? Let me share another screen. 1 minute. And thank you, sir, Prabhu. We know that, right? How the material world is created, Prabhuji?
Yes, from the Mahan and uh, all the Panchabhutas, Pancha Tanmatra, all those things will be created.
Right.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yeah, totally 24 elements. Yeah, that.
No, but the order of creation. Let
Ahankara,
me pull.
yeah.
I'll pull out a presentation.
Okay.
This is all creation thing. So I have 2 presentation on this one, and in 5th canto we'll really get into details of it. It's really very.
I'm not able to see the screen.
No, I'm not sharing it, Prabhuji. I'm not sharing.
Okay.
Just I'm still trying to find my presentation.
Okay, bro.
Says means and goals are getting into the sense. Captain of the ship. Which presentation I have this? Transcendental to the material energy. Yeah. I have, created a presentation, but I myself do not know. I wanted to show you that in fact I should have moved that slide here. Lila Avatar of the Supreme Lord, maybe. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Just 1 minute, Rosie. This is a beautiful discussion. It will help you answer all of your questions, in fact. Okay, good. Now I'm trying to move all the slides that I have here and there at one location so that I don't have to keep on changing the screen sharing. I got it. Most of the information is here. And once you look at this, your concept will be extremely clear about how this creation has come into existence. Jai Prabhupada. Then some other, I'm not feeling good also. I feel a little sick. Maybe weather change or something has happened. Okay, now we are good. Now let me share the screen. At least everything at one place will give a nice clear understanding of this concept. Can you see the screen, Prabhu? Now it's visible, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. It's visible.
Okay, so let's go back. So first two questions. The first one is Yad Rupam, and Yad Rupam is basically is form of Narayan. Okay, it's form of Vasudeva that we have seen here. This is so Yad Rupam is Vasudeva, Kal, Karma, Swabhava, Jiva, and Dravya. That's the root. Now, the second question is Yad Adhishthanam, right? Yad Adhishthanam. So Yad Adhishthanam, where is the shelter? Shelter is at the Lord Narayan, which is Narayanam Pragati. Narayan is the ultimate destination. So this is a very famous verse that many times I see Atulanand Prabhu will chant when he gives Bhagavatam class. Narayan Paraveda Deva Narayan. What is that? Deva Narayan Angjaha Narayana Praloka Narayanam Pramakha Narayanam Prayoga Narayanam Pratapaha Narayanam Narayana Pravagyanam Narayana Pragatihi. So Narayan is ultimate destination. Lord Narayan is ultimate knowledge, and he is the goal of ultimate austerity that we do. He is the goal of ultimate yogic process that we have, that includes Bhakti Yoga also. He is the goal of all sacrifice, and all the activity that we do in material world, ultimate beneficiary of that is Lord Narayan himself. He is ultimate Gyan, and he is ultimate Veda. So Adhisthanam is all Lord Narayan, but Narayanam Pragati, he is ultimate destination. So that's what Lord Brahma tells. Now Yad Srishtam will try to understand it. There are some verses here, but I'll give you just a sense of what those verses are talking about. Okay. So this slide we have seen many times, nothing new. So what happens is that basically this whole material creation is coming from Lord Balram. If you go beyond Narayan, then it's coming from Lord Balram. So Lord Balram has four Chaturbhuja form. Pratham Chaturbhuja and Dutiya Chaturbhuja, which is Sankarsan, Anirudh, Vasudeva, and Pradyumna. So from Sankarsan, we say that, Lord Balaram is Sankarsan also. So from Sankarsan, in fact, this whole creation comes. And that Sankarsan is Dutiya Chaturbhuja, second four expansion of Lord Balram. So entire spiritual world and material world is coming from Lord Balram. We have talked about it, right? That to serve Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram expands. So in reality, everything that we see in the material world is expansion coming from Lord Balram. Lord Balram has expanded to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like, it's very simple, and many of us tell in classes that in Vrindavan, Lord Balram has expanded as grass. He expands as cow. He expands as cowherd boys. All of that just to give the pleasure to Supreme Personality of Godhead. In our language, we say that, oh, Mridanga is expansion of Lord Balram. Everything that we have in the temple, all the paraphernalia that we use in deity worship, it's all expansion of Lord Balram. So if you go up, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, ultimately the cause of all causes is Krishna. So Krishna and Balram is Duya Deyadhari. They have two different body, but they are only one soul. So even if you go a little bit up, then there is Swam Rupa. Swam Rupa is Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and then he has Vaibhav Rupa, and he has Swam Prakash. So there is Bilas and there is Vaibhav. Okay, so Srimati Radharani is Lord's Haladani Shakti, and all the Bilas, all that creation that happens, that is happening from the another Shakti of Krishna, that is known as Lord Balram. So from Balram, this 4 Dutiya Chaturbhuja comes, and from Sankarshan, basically Karnodakshai Vishnu comes. So Karnodakshai Vishnu is the ultimate source of material creation. So if somebody will ask you, who is the ultimate source of the material creation? Narayan, or more specific, Karnodakshai Vishnu. So Karnodakshai Vishnu, when he inhales and exhales, from his body, multiple, in fact, infinite many universes are coming, like eggs. You see that these eggs are coming, and in each egg, which is one universe, Karnodakshai Vishnu expands as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and then he fills the half of that creation with his sweat. Garbha ocean, we call it. So half of this that universe is filled up with his sweating, and half of that is your 14 planetary system, but half is filled with water. So that's why we say that the entire material creation is in fact swimming. Everything, we are on the Bhumandala, there is upper planetary system, and then there is lower planetary system, and beneath that, this is there is Garbha ocean. So everything is basically very much swimming on the Garbha ocean. So Garbha ocean is nothing but sweating of Lord Narayan, and in that ocean, Garbhodakshai Vishnu is lying down with Srimati Lakshmi Devi. So that's this picture. The second picture is showing. So he comes and he lies on Garbha ocean, and then from his navel, Lord Brahma comes. Okay, and when this Brahma comes, and this is the Brahma of this universe. So in every universe there are different Brahma, but in this universe, this Brahma comes out of the navel, the lotus, that comes out of the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Excuse me. And he comes and he sees everywhere dark. Then this tapa that we have heard, he hears that sound, then he does tapasya. After 10,000 years of his tapasya, he gets the inspiration to track the stem of the lotus, and when he tracks, then he sees Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and then Garbhodakshai Vishnu gives him the formula of creation, which is called Chaturshloki verse, which we are going to see in chapter 10. So Garbhodakshai Vishnu basically is giving that instruction to Lord Brahma and telling him how this creation has to take place. So in fact, in this chapter, that's what Lord Brahma is saying. He's saying that, although it doesn't directly talks this entire detail that I just talked about, but I just wanted to connect you back that what this discussion is about. Lord Brahma is saying, in fact, this whole creation is coming from Lord himself. I'm just taking what he has created and then manipulating it and giving the different forms of the body. Okay, so in that description, he says that when this universe is created, then with the inspiration of Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu, these planets are created. And we studied that in the previous class, 7 upper planets and 7 lower planets. Once these planets are created, then these planets need to be filled up with living entity. So what Brahma does, Kshitijalla Pavak Gagana Samira, the element, the material element that is there, and in a very concise way, these are the element. These are the element. Here, these are the element. Kal, Karma, Swabhav, Jiva, Dravya. This is consolidated, which Adhikar Prabhu said 24 element. Yes, 28, 24, 27, whatever, 28, different places, different, and we saw some of the verses saying that all of those are saying the same thing, but in different way. So what Lord Brahma does is that he takes these elements and then fills up the planets with living entity. Once the planets are filled up with living entity, like we are on Bhumandala planet, Krishna has given us this body, and then soul is situated in the heart to conduct this body, to make this body work. But when this is another concept which is going to come in next chapter, when this entire creation gets created, when living entities are created, there is no action to it. So everything is like idol, like we worship idol of you'll see in Saraswati Puja or Durga Puja, they have so many big idols. If you look at those idols, it looks like even better than human being. They have done such a nice crafting. So likewise, this whole creation has happened, but everything is not moving. Like wind is not moving, the water in sea is not moving. Everything is stagnant. So then Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu expands again. He takes another expansion, and he expands as Paramatma, that is called Shivodakshai Vishnu, and then he enters into all creation that here, everything, jar or living entity, jar or achar. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that, oh Arjun, if you close your eyes, you will see that this entire material world is created by Chetna and Jar, Char and Achar. So likewise, as soon as this Paramatma form, Shivodakshai Vishnu, enters into all living entity, then mobility comes. Then we start thinking, oh my gosh, I have baby, I have my family, I have my job, I have to go to temple, I have to drive car, I have to do this, I have to do that. All of that now, mobility that's happening, all of us are preoccupied, right? In so many So many actions, day-to-day activity that we have, we are occupied into. This all happens, because jiva, the soul that is transplanted in the body of the living entity, has desire. So Paramatma enters into it and it starts boating the boat, right? Navigating the boat, we say that.
Prabhuji,
Yeah, yes.
even the movements of rivers and all those things are happening because of Kshirodaksha Vishnu.
Reverse moment, what is that?
Yeah,
Prabhu?
movement of rivers or waves of in the ocean, all those things are
Yeah,
happening because of
yeah,
Kshirodaksha.
yeah, yes, you're right.
Mhm.
Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Paramatma is present in both Char and Achar. So like, for example, how to understand that?
Mm.
We have gold versus silver, right? Gold has different characteristic versus silver, and that different intrinsic quality that you see, it's happening because of the presence of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Metal has strength. That's also coming from Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So this distinction, literally, if you look at it, it's nothing but earth. Earth, water, air, ether. That's what it is. What is, it's our body is composition of these 5 things. There is a soil element, right? There is air inside. There is some open space. There is water. That's what we are made of. But still, you look different. I look different. You have a different character. I have different character. All of these distinctions are coming because soul has desire, and to fulfill that desire, uh, Lord Vishnu enters into our body and then facilitate. That's why it's called Bhakta Updechanti Anumanta Bhakta Bharta Hari. What is the soul? He is sanctioning. He's watching, oversharing. He's Bharta. He's maintaining us. We are being maintained. This body is being maintained. So one of the question was that who is conserving it? How this body is being maintained? Is also being maintained by Lord himself. That's why in a very concise way it says that Ekilaya Ishwara Krishna Arasava Bharya. So but this has different layers of understanding. Ultimately, everything is happening and functioning because of the presence of Krishna. That's why this chapter is titled The Cause of All Causes. Your happiness, your sorrow, everything that is given to you, it's ultimately Upadechanta Anumanta. It's being sanctioned and approved by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a rough, explanation of how this creation comes into existence. And then this slide basically tells what are their functions. Mahavishnu, and I have already very much gone through it, what they are exactly doing. Now, let us look at this slide. So these are just the same picture. The one that you see in your left, this is an old schematic that ISKCON had. So if you look at some of the old picture, you will see the creation is described like that. And this is based upon instruction or information that is given in 5th canto. But later, after looking into it, devotee found that this is not a very detailed, this has some confusion. And I can tell you what are the confusion, but we don't want to get into that. This is not completely describing what Canto 5th was talking about. So then this painting came, and this is the latest painting. Okay, so this painting literally talks about entire creation. So I would just like to spend some time on this one. So what this is showing here is on top, this is Golok Vrindavan. So when we say that we have to go back to home, back to Krishna, then this is the place we are talking about. Okay, and then it talks about the structure of Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is structured like a 5 petals lotus flower. Lotus flower that has 5 petals, and you can see, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 petals, right? And these 5 petals are 5 rasa. So Madhurya rasa is in the center. After that, there is Vatsalya rasa. Then there is Shakhya rasa. Then there is Dasa rasa. And then there is Shanta rasa. So these 5 rasas, and then these 4 corners are Jagannath Puri, Dwarka, Mathura, like that. So that is the structure of Golok Vrindavan. So even if when we go back to home, back to Krishna, for example, if someone is worshipping Krishna, then they will go to abode of Krishna in one of the rasa, whatever rasa you are worshipping the Lord, in that rasa you will go to that abode. But if you are worshipping Lord Jagannath, then you will go to Golok Vrindavan, but to the Jagannath abode. Okay, so I don't want to zoom into it, but this whole thing that you are seeing has a purpose and explanation. It's not just a schematic. But at some point, maybe once we get to 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll talk about it. And then the second, see that you see here, the second square, that is a spiritual world. And this is where same Radha and Krishna. So in the center is Sri Radha and Krishna, right? The same Radha and Krishna comes in the spiritual world as Mahavishnu and Lakshmi. But in Golok Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna is being worshipped in mode of Madhurya Rasa. Madhurya Rasa is prominent here. But in this spiritual world, where Lord Vishnu is worshipped by other associates, the mode of worship is Ishwarya Bhav. Okay, so to get worshipped in Ishwarya, Krishna comes as Vishnu and Lakshmi. So that's why, when we say that, oh, Narayan is basically, sometimes you will see Prabhupada says Narayan, and then, in the verse it will say Narayan, and then in the translation and purport, Prabhupada will write Krishna. So you should understand why it's happening, because Narayan and Lakshmi is same Krishna and Srimati Radharani in the Ishwarya Bhav. So all of this from here until here, and then this creation also has, in the spiritual world there are 10 sections, and then there are 24 Vishnus. So all the avatars of Lord, such as Rama, Matsya, Narsimha, Kurma, Vara, all of them are here. They have their own abode, but we are not going into it. I just want to get you, understanding that everything that we talk has a technical understanding. So all of the Vishnu forms are here in the spiritual world. So when we say going back to Ayodhya, we are talking about one of the Vaikuntha. Okay, that's here. But Golok Vrindavan is up here. And then this whole cloud, that thing you see here, you see this cloud? And then after cloud, there is a lot of description here, and that is the material world. So ek pad vibhuti and 3 pad vibhuti, we call it. So material world is 1/4 of the entire creation. So this whole material world that is created, all of this here you can see, all the eggs. There are so many eggs here, you can see all of these eggs. These are different universes, and all of that is 1/4 of the entire creation, and 3/4 is a spiritual creation. So this chapter is basically going to give us understanding about this creation. So this whole thing that you are seeing here is coming from Karnodakshai Vishnu. Now there is technicality of it. The details we'll try to explain as much as I can. So the cloud that you see here, this cloud is Pradhan. See here this cloud? This cloud is Pradhan, which means it's the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but it's in unmanifested state. It's just, not manifested. And how to understand that? Car, if you put all the parts together, it become a car, and driver can get into it. He can turn the key on and he or she will drive. But if you take everything apart, throw it, then in the garage you will see that and you would not have no idea. You would have no sense. If you put this together, it's going to be car, or it's going to be bus, or it's going to be truck, or it's going to be motorbike. You would not know, because all the parts are all over the place. So putting everything together, when it's in unmanifested state, then it's called pradhan. And when it gets agitated, then it becomes mahatattva. Now, how pradhan turns into mahatattva, some of that discussion we'll discuss here. So you will see there is a lot of details here, and these details are subject of entire second canto and half of the third canto. Okay, when we say Sarga and Visarga, right? Sarga is primary creation and Visarga is secondary creation. So first two canto is considered Sarga Visarga. Why? Because it talks about primary creation and secondary creation. The primary creator is Lord Narayan. When we say Lord Narayan, means these three forms. And secondary creator is Lord Brahma. That's how we have to understand. It's very simple. So in fact, you got the gist of this entire chapters. Primary creator is Lord Narayan, and secondary creator is Lord Vishnu. So when we talk about Pradhan, Mahatattva, and Ahankar, you should know we are dealing with this part of the creation. Okay, you should not think that Ahankar and Pradhan is also element for the spiritual world or for Goloka. No. It's only for this material creation. Okay. Now in the material creation, Durga, you can see here picture of Durga is here, Shiva is here, Karnadakshai Vishnu is here, Durga is here, Lakshmi is here, Shiva is here. So all of that now, sometimes people say, oh, creator is, many people say, no, not Vishnu. Creator is material world is created by Lord Shiva, Sadasiva. All of that is being answered. And if you study systematically, if you know all of that, then you would find out everybody play a very important role. So this entire material world is being shown here. And the one that you see here, the circle that you see, this circle is the circle of our universe where all of us are residing. And if you look into the picture, you'll see that in this circle, half of that space is water here. Are you seeing, Prabhuji Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this half here that you see is sweating coming from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And then on that Garbha ocean, Garbhodakshai Vishnu is lying down and Mother Lakshmi is basically serving him. And then from his navel, this lotus stem is coming and Lord Brahma is there. And these stems, when it dissected, what Lord Brahma did is that, he just followed it. In fact, this stem dissected in 14 part gives 14 planetary system. Okay, so that's how it is. Details of this whole thing is given in 5th canto, and we'll talk about it. So that's how creation comes into the existence. This is a circle. Out of the circle, there is 10 circles here, and these circles are basically ahankar, false ego. So dosa, right? We say that anger, lobh, matsarga, false ego, all of these enemy of the mind, and then earth, water, fire, air, ether. So all of that together makes 10 component, and those 10s are basically shield. So material world is shielded by these 10 impurity that living entity have. And that's why this is dark. This whole creation inside is dark because it's shielded. It's shielded by the 5 enemy of the mind and then the 5 gross element. So 10 elements are here, and that is shielding it, making it dark. That's why you need sun and moon. And then there is concept of Loka mountain, which is surrounding, which is all around this creation, and it's also helping make this place dark. So we say, oh, this is just darkness. Who will trust that this is dark? Look at outside. It's very bright day, because of the presence of sun. But nature of this material world is dark. The encapsulation that has been done by Supreme Lord makes it appear dark. This is the place of ignorance in one sense. Darkness implies to ignorance. So living entity by default are ignorant because of the way this material world is created and the way living entities are put into this creation. It's very much to live into ignorance. So this is what we are going to slowly discuss. This is another presentation. So before I get into that, I also like to go through this one. Okay. So Swayam Roop is Bhagwan Krishna. And then there are three major distinctions. There are three major expansions. So the first one is Swayam Prakash. The Swayam Prakash has two components, Vaibhav Prakash and Prabhav Prakash and Vaibhav Prakash. So Prabhav Prakash is basically, just the expansion in the same form, same quality, same feature, everything is same. It's just the expansion. That is why the word Prakash is being used. Okay. So Swayam Prakash, Prabhav Prakash, Vaibhav Prakash. When we say Prakash, means it's the same form. Okay. Same quality, same attributes, just different body. So Prabhav Prakash is Srimati Radharani and Vaibhav Prakash is Lord Balram. So Radharani, Balaram and Krishna, they are in fact the same person, but different body, different bodily feature. That is why we say that when Krishna is doing rasa dance with gopis, it's not like, I doing rasa dance with somebody else's wife. You and I cannot do that. If you and I do that, then we'll be in guilt, we'll be offensive. But for Krishna, it's not, because Krishna is using his own energy, in fact. That is, that's why for devotee things make sense, but for outsider, it doesn't. Okay. So this is a spiritual world, and Vaibhav Prakash is Lord Balram. So Lord Balram expand as Tadekatma form, which is Lord Balram in different form. And then from Lord Balram, this entire material creation comes, spiritual and material creation comes. So this part here, the Bilasa form that you see, this is a spiritual world. So Adi Chaturbhiva and then Dvitiya Chaturbhiva, this is all a spiritual world. So we'll talk about all of that details later, And then from Dvitiya Chaturbhiva, this 24 expansion of Vishnu comes, and those Vishnus are residing in that, different petals that you see in the Vaikuntha. Okay, those 24 Vishnus are there. We have all the details. We'll talk about that. So this is Vaikuntha. Okay, here. So this is Golok Vrindavan, the Bilas expansion, which is in the mode of Aishwarya, is Vaikuntha. And then here, these two, Avesa and Samsa, this is material world. So in material world, Krishna takes Purusha avatar, Lila avatar, Guna avatar, Juga avatar, Manmantra avatar, Sakti avatar. All of that terms when we are talking, Krishna's Lila avatar, today Ramanavami is coming, and so many other, events we have celebrated for appearance and disappearance. All of that is happening here in this material world. So hope is giving you some, and this is the, explanation that there are 10 circle in this, if, I just, kind of zoomed in, you can see there are circles here, right? And in this circle, who are the presiding deity? That's what it's, this is description of Vakunta. Okay. Then this is description about all the Lila avatar, Guna avatar, Juga avatar, Manmantra avatar, Saktayosas avatar. What are different forms of incarnations in different, category Krishna takes. So this whole thing, I just wanted to quickly walk you through so that you can understand what we are talking about. This whole thing is dealing with the material creation. We are not talking about a spiritual creation. When we talk about this, we should know that we are dealing with the material creation, not the spiritual. And here is another zoomed in picture that talks about, gives the details about material creation. So you can see here, there is Pradhan, then Lord, Shambhu is here, Maya, Srimati Durga is here. We'll talk about it. We'll give you the details, how this whole thing happens. And then in each planet, so there are planetary system here. We are on the Bhumandala, on earthly planet. There are so many living entities, and all of those living entities have Paramatma inside. Vidya Vinay Sampane Brahmane Gavahastini Sunichaiva Sopakecha Pandita Samadarshina. So Pandita, who is learned in a scripture, who understand the creation, they know that in fact, there is no distinction between all of those living entities. Why? Because he has vidya, he has knowledge, and that knowledge gives him sufficient humility to understand Sunichaiva Sopakecha, dog and dog eater. In fact, they are same. Right? That's Uttama Bhakta. That's, Rupa Goswami says, that's the Uttam Bhakta. Uttam Bhakta can do that. Why? Because he can see that this distinction is nothing but coming from Lord himself. Okay. So how did you like so far? Is it too much? Overwhelming?
No, Prabhu, it is too much detail. So, so
This is
Very
nothing, Prabhu. If you
yes.
go into 5th canto, I'll give you so much detail. I have all the pictures. This is, 5th canto. If you go through me, you'll be overwhelmed to understand this entire creation, Prabhu. Yes.
It's very nice. Yeah.
So that's how basically, that's how this, things are given to us. Okay. So yes, that's why it's not like that Bhagavatam doesn't talk the importance of Lord Shiva in the creation. Okay. I can quickly give you how this whole thing happens. Let me talk about this one, then that will be the last part of our discussion today. We'll stop here. So Lord Narayan, he does not touch anything in the guna. So there are 3 guna, right? Tamoguna, Rajaguna, and Satoguna. And then there is Vishid Tattva, right? Vishud Sattva Guna, right? So Traigunya Visaya Veda, Nastara Gunya Bhava Arjuna. There are 3 guna. And this entire material creation is part of the guna. It's conducted, it's being managed, and it has functionality because of the Tamo, Rajo, and Satoguna. But Lord Vishnu is beyond this guna. Lord Vishnu doesn't touch this guna. He has nothing to do with Atmarama Shamunya Nirgantha Purukume Kurvanti. All these Atmaram and Muni, they are worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. We say that bhakti, devotional service, is not part of this material world. The action that you and I are, doing, service that we do is not part of the material world. Although we seems to be taking the material element and putting it together, doing something, but it's beyond. Any service that is done to Vishnu form is in the Vishuddha Sattva. Okay, it's beyond this guna. So Lord Vishnu does not touch these gunas. He has nothing to do with. He doesn't touch, although he is the source of it, but personally he doesn't touch it. So when the creation has to be created, Lord Karnodakshaya Vishnu, he looks at Mother Lakshmi. Okay, so he looks at Mother Lakshmi, and Mother Lakshmi understands. As soon as Karnodakshaya Vishnu will look at Mother Lakshmi will understand that now my Lord wants this creation to take place. Okay, then Mother Lakshmi will look at Shambhu, and Shambhu will be empowered by Karnodakshaya Vishnu. Okay, so Shambhu gets the order that okay, now this material creation has to happen. So according to Bhagavatam, who is Shambhu? Who is Shiva? Shiva originally is Vishnu. Okay, that's why we should have respect for Shiva. But to come within the modes of material nature, to touch and facilitate the things in the modes, he takes a different form, and that form is Shambhu or Shiva. Sadashiv is Vishnu. Sadashiv is Vishnu. Okay, so this Shambhu that we are seeing is expansion of original Sadashiv. Like Karnodakshaya Vishnu is coming from Lord Balram, Sankarsana. Likewise, this Shambhu originally comes from Sadashiv, who is the Vishnu Tattva. So to function and make material world agitate and work, Lord Shambhu looks at Mother Durga, and Mother Durga, he impregnates Mother Durga. And then this is called also Devi Dham. So then Mother Durga and Lord Shiva, they start helping, because they can touch, they can come to the material world, and they can deal with the material element. Even Lord Vishnu, as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he comes to material world. Literally, he doesn't touch. Okay, he doesn't touch. The functionality, he has nothing to do. Just by his Iksha Shakti, things are happening. And that Iksha Shakti is being implemented by Durga and Shambhu. So that's why sometimes we say, oh, this is all Maya. Whenever we are using Mahamaya, you should know this Mahamaya is nothing but Mother Durga. So Lord Vishnu, in his Garbhodakshaya Vishnu forms, he uses Maya to create this, confusion and illusion and all of that. Okay, so that's that's how we have to understand. And then next week when we meet, I would go through this description, what exactly so from here it will start making sense. We have come down to the material creation. So in that sense, now it will make more sense for us to understand this details Yad system. That's the question we have, and we'll understand that in detail from next class. Okay, so that's how it is. And the same thing when you talk in 5th canto, now there is a lot of details here, which I'm not going to get into. Once we go to 5th canto, I'll tell you the story. But that's how it is. And that was one of the questions, that please tell me how this material world is created. And in a very concise way, we gave you some idea of the creation. Can we stop here now?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So we'll stop, and I have to maybe leave early today. I heard that there is some leakage in the DT room. Faucet is leaking and it's making some bad sound. I might have to make few calls, and I'll see you all in Sunday feast. Thank you so much. Vansh kalpataru vaisya kripa sindhu vaisya patidanam pavane